Welcome to Impact Learning Tutorials, and this is a video about the respiratory system. So in this video we're going to be able to understand the structure of the respiratory system and also be able to name the pathway of air in the respiratory system. So whenever we see the word respiratory, this is referring to the lungs. So whenever you see this in an exam question and you see the word name the structure of the respiratory system, it's always going to be about the lungs. And the lungs' main function is to help oxygen enter the red blood cells. The lungs also help the body to get rid of carbon dioxide gas, which is what expires when we breathe out. So we take oxygen in and expire carbon dioxide. Gaseous exchange is the delivery of oxygen from the lungs to the bloodstream and the elimination of carbon dioxide from the bloodstream. So when we breathe in, we pick up oxygen, and when we breathe out, we get rid of carbon dioxide, and this process is called gaseous exchange. So the structure of the respiratory system, if you look on the right, you'll see a diagram, and this shows the structure of the respiratory system, starting with the nasal cavity, which is how we breathe, passing into the trachea. You can see the diagram of the lungs, the intercostal muscles, which are our breathing muscles, and all the various parts that make up the respiratory system. At the bottom of the diagram, you'll see a diaphragm, and when we inhale, the diaphragm muscle contracts, and then when we exhale, the diaphragm muscle relaxes. So that little muscle at the bottom of the system, like the oval shape, that's known as the diaphragm. So it might be worth pausing the video here, have a look at the diagram, and get to know each of the different parts that make up the respiratory system. So the pathway of air. This links in very closely to the previous part of the video where we showed you the structure of the respiratory system, where you can see all the different parts. And for your exam, you're going to need to know the pathway that the air takes in the lungs. So to begin with, it comes in through the mouth or the nose when we breathe in. It then goes into the trachea or the windpipe, then into the bronchi, then the bronchioles, and then finally the alveoli, which is where the gaseous exchange takes place. It might be worth rewinding the video to have a look at the diagram, and you'll see all of these different parts and make your own revision notes on this pathway of air, because this is really popular in exam questions, so it's important that you know this for your revision.